demystify the infamous and dangerous and much lied about Eric A. Cinotti. This is where public corruption, abuse of power, a waste and misabuse of public dollars, and ultimately using your personal position for gaining power influence over others is met with extreme hostility. Otherwise, everyone else is welcome. Welcome to the Hostile Zone.
Welcome to the Hostile Zone. In your face, you're with Eric Andrew Cinotti, Eric A. Cinotti, who?
Eric Cinotti.
Eric Cinotti, True Cinotti, on 99.9 FM dial, KKTC, True Country.
True America.
True Cinotti, baby. Here we are, another day. In your face, another day, the Hostile Zone. On your dial, 99.9 KKTC. I'm here with on-air vocalist, Miss Bianca Sea.
Hello, everyone. Bianca Sea, that's me.
Bianca Sea, that's me. You do that so lovely.
Thank you.
Here we are again. We're with R-Dub, who is remotely working with us today. He's on early vacation. Thank you. Early vacation. How are you, R-Dub?
Doing just fine. How are you guys?
Outstanding. Welcome to the show, R-Dub. Thank you for your continued service. Say hi to Mom out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Hello, Mom.
Hello. I understand Mom might be on the show soon. Come on to do some little child stories about you. We're looking forward to it, R-Dub.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, she'll be here. Trust me. I'll call. I got her number. I'll call her myself.
Great.
Do we have? Well, we know Kenny's somewhere, but do we have Dick around on with us?
Hello, everybody.
Whoa, hey, what's up, Dick? How are you?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. Welcome to the show. Thank you for your continued work with us. We appreciate everything you do. How's your holiday trip doing?
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous. Are you rocking any good gear today? We miss you in the studio. We don't get to see what you're wearing today. You got anything good on?
I will say I look absolutely fabulous right now, but I can't say what I'm wearing because still no sponsors.
Sponsors. I have a meeting. I have a meeting tomorrow. So we should have some more sponsors. Actually, R-Dub, if you can gather up some names of fashion stuff that you guys are into so we can talk to those people.
I have a couple of ideas.
Yeah, I'm very serious too. You know, this is on air right now, but we are consistently looking for sponsors and have ad space on all of our shows that run 5 nights a week on KKTC. And we also have our BBS Talk Radio show that airs every Monday. So that's 2 shows on Mondays. And we have our 5-day show on KKTC. And every show ends up on your favorite streaming platform, i.e. Apple, Google, Amazon, Audible, Odyssey, you name them all. You can check us out on Eric A. Cinotti on Facebook. The Hostile Zone, Eric A. Cinotti. You can also check out the fan page, The Hostile Zone. You can check me out on LinkedIn, Eric A. Cinotti, The Hostile Zone. You can also check out Miss Bianca Sea, S-E-A, like the ocean, S-E-A on Facebook and Instagram as well. And YouTube, the show's YouTube. You can check all of the stuff out. You can reach out to us through there. If you want to email me on the show, The Hostile Zone at bbstalkradio.com.
Yes.
The Hostile Zone at bbstalkradio.com or Eric at ericandrewcinotti.com. Eric at ericandrewcinotti.com. Did I get all of the plugs in there, R-Dub?
Yes, I believe you did.
Outstanding. Angelo is with us, but not with us online, but he is doing his production editing stuff. Shout out to Jersey Angelo, aka Thumbs, out there. All right, so we got everybody. So we are on a hard news Monday. Back to the hard news, but we're not going to get too much hard news because it's Christmas week and we want to keep it fresh, light, and fun. But on the news front, I have something really kind of big, actually.
And what's that?
I want to talk about. And it's kind of not your. There you go. We're getting all ready for our festive. You got a little hat on there. Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Hello.
Hello.
Merry Christmas to everyone. and to all a good night.
Oh, too early for the good night. Early on in the show.
I know.
So
Or yeah, Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. You want to
So,
sing a
yes.
a line for us? What are you going to sing a line? Sing a Christmas line. Remember, don't pull out the mic.
Let's see. Merry Christmas to everyone. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir. And folks
You should be watching, if you're
dressed
watching,
up
for my
like
dancing skills.
Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and
Like my
some
dance, Arda?
mistletoe. Help
Love it.
you
Love it,
make
man.
the season bright.
Don't mess the hair. Need a haircut.
Tiny
Looking for a
tots
hairstylist.
with their eyes on the glow, will find it hard to sleep
With the
tonight.
governor hat on me. All right, so Hard News Monday.
Woo, look, you got a little snow on it.
Everybody knows that I'm very proud of my Catholic upbringing and my Catholic faith. I bring it up all the
Yes.
time. I'm not
I like it.
I don't know what the term is, but when somebody's like over religious and like that, pious word of the day. I am pious, but I'm not over pious. So you're not going to find me in the church pew all day, but I am proud of my upbringing.
Yes.
So I am going to bring up a little bit of Vatican news.
Vatican, okay.
Pope Francis, the Vatican, the leader of the Catholic Church,
Yes.
has now officially made an official Vatican rule that the Pope is now and priests are all able to put a blessing upon same-sex couples now.
Really?
Yeah. Did you hear that, Arda?
Wow.
Yes, I
You
did.
know,
Same-sex
they're
couple. I'm okay
on
with
with
it.
the
I'm good with
time. I'm
this.
okay
I'm good
with
with
it
this. I'm
too.
very good with this. He basically he's saying that anybody that is seeking God's love and mercy and whatever is and this is an argument everybody's been saying for years and years and years across everywhere.
You know, it's
Is
going
that
to help
God
a
is
lot
supposed
of
to forgive
families.
you and you could come back, right? So
Mhm.
why are they being denied blessings from the church?
Yeah, I think so. You know what? It's easier for the family members because they're back then they used to be like, oh my God, what would the church say?
Right.
Blah blah. But now I think it's great. I mean, it's
a
gonna
step.
unite
It's a
families
step.
together.
Yes, it's a step.
And you know what? It really truly means that God is love.
Right, and that's what the Pope is trying to say is that we're talking about God's mercy, love, and forgiveness, and everybody else can go to penance on Sunday and whatever and ask for forgiveness and get communion and all that stuff, and same-sex couples can't. Now, that's good that he's saying you can do that now. And what an interesting caveat is, this is just a step because he is saying that their same-sex couples can receive the blessing and etc. But it is not, as long as their relationship is not being resembled or discussed as a marriage. That's the key.
Oh.
But they're same-sex couples.
Well, they're getting close.
But
It's getting close.
They're not recognizing the marriage, but they're recognizing that they're God's children. They want God's love and God's mercy, and they are agreeing that they should not be going back around dealing with moral discussions. This is not what the Pope wants. He wants God's love is God's love.
So everyone.
So if you're asking for God's forgiveness and God's love, everybody should be entitled to that. And
yes,
I
believe so too. You should always be forgiven, and
right, exactly. Yeah. If you're asking for forgiveness, then you are truly
in the heart.
Right, yes, then you should be right. And then there is no religion. There is zero religion, and there's no hope for any religion if they're going to shut out somebody who's asking for love and forgiveness. So the key on this one, R-Dub, is that they're talking about the no resemblance of a marriage. I don't know the specifics on what the details are going to be in this document that they're putting out, what they would call a canon, which is like a Vatican law. Canon rule. That's a church rule. So I don't really know how it's going to play in, but I'm happy to see that we're being inclusive. No, we got to fix this. All right, stand by here. We got to fix something here. So he's going to have to edit that out. R-Dub, killing me. Back in. You're back in, R-Dub?
Yep.
You there, R-Dub? Okay, we had a little tech glitch as usual, but we're good. We can edit that little piece out. So I'm happy to see that that they're doing that, and that's a good thing. I mean, what say you, R-Dub? you're generationally different, so I always call on you for these things because of the generation difference. What's your thoughts?
Well, with all of this, I believe that it's a good thing that, because like everybody always says that God loves all of his children no matter what. And me,
Right,
I'm not I'm not super religious. I went to church when
right, right,
I was younger, and I even sang on my worship team, but personally for me, I didn't fully understand what I was singing to and praying to, but
right.
I have an idea that there is some higher power up there that, watches over
Absolutely.
all of us,
Yeah.
and that's just something that, it's it's kind of hard to think with how perfect everything is in our universe that
That somebody is not in designing that. Right.
exactly. And so for
Or some higher being, whatever you want to believe in.
exactly, and I understand that there's probably going to be a lot of people out there that they grew up on the ideologies that they had, and they're not too fond of this idea. But at the same point, I believe that you know everybody should be accepted no matter what, and allowing this into the church now opens up a world of opportunities for the future.
Exactly. And if I could put a little bit of legal scholar on it, um, is you have to be careful because of the sliding slope. Have you
Mm-hmm.
heard of a sliding slope? Like when you step on the edge of a ski slope, at some point when you step too far, it gets slippery and everything falls off.
Oh,
So
okay.
why they're very cautious on a legal sense or political sense or whatever is because you don't want to, if you allow one thing, then other things are going to come forward. Just recently, actually, this isn't on the hard news front today, but it is very related to this, and I'm going to bring it up. It's not on my news bulletin
Okay.
today, but there was a church, a government building. I'm not sure, so don't bot me and troll me. But thank you to bots and trolls for my popularity. But because I'm not prepared to give the information details on this, I'm going to just go light across it
Hmm.
because I wasn't going to discuss it. But there was a
Okay.
city hall that actually has, because people put up the manger set, the nativity set with Jesus and baby Jesus
Oh, I
in it,
love that. It's
right?
so cute when they
So
do
they
that.
one city government, and I'm not sure where offhand, but is they put up the Church of Satan. Yes, the Satanic Church. Church of Satan is a real thing.
Oh, I've heard of
The
it,
church
but
of, so they actually have a display set up at City Hall as well. And where I was going with this is that this is slippery slope because when you allow one thing and you say, well, we have to be inclusive, then where do you draw the line on what do you include? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and I'm just making an argument here. I'm not making a comparison on personal opinion. So please don't bot me and troll me on this. And make sure we don't lose this segment on recording or dub because what I'm going to say is going to trigger people. But it is very, very important. When when they are including same-sex marriages in, you're talking about a slope now. What about people that are involved in bestiality that have sex with animals, right?
Mm.
Obviously, there's no comparison. And I'm not comparing a homosexual behavior with sex with animals. I'm not comparing those two. But I'm saying you're going to have people coming forward with other things out there and say, well, if you're allowing this to be recognized, why can't I be recognized with this belief and this feeling? And at some
Mm.
point, when is a belief and a feeling actually way outside of what society wants it all together? I don't think anybody across the board would be saying having relations, bestiality is normal by any means, right? R-Dub? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I know you grew up in a farm. I know you grew up in a farm and all, but still,
yeah, I
right?
have 4 alpacas and 2 goats, and I love them, but not that
Oh,
much.
Exactly, right? So I mean, and I
yeah,
wasn't
circle
comparing the
life.
two, but I
Yeah.
was saying there's your slippery slope because now that you've allowed, now someone's going to come in and say, "How about me with this?" And I said that
Mm.
because with the Church of Satan in City Hall, that's another slope because they were saying, "Well, you allowed the nativity for Christ in there, and you allow all these other things, so why can't I be there?" And then they sue. They sue, and government and the Bible are
Yeah.
different, obviously, but we do
That's
take an oath
tough.
under swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, right?
You're
So
right.
church and state are supposed to be separate, but it does say in God we trust on our money, and the church is not responsible for our money, or are they? What say you anyway? Okay, so that's enough on that. Israel and Gaza still at it. They've had all kinds of incidents occur over there since our last show. I'm not going to get into the specific details of it. However, Germany, France, the UK, and now the United States Department of the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, is traveling to Gaza today. And he, along with France, and now that they're not going to be there, but along with their calls, France, Germany, and the UK are calling for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip in this battle with Israel and Hamas right now.
Really?
They're calling for that, and the Secretary of Defense is going to call for that too. It's time to not to fully ceasefire, but to bring down the heavy combat operations. Like they've they got into the area. They've got soldiers everywhere. So they're calling for a de-escalation to bring the major combat operations down. Doesn't mean that they're done forever, but the major stuff is done. So this way people can get a semblance of life again. And I think that's a good thing, right? I mean,
yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's so I don't know. For each his will on what your opinion is on that. We wish everybody well here at the Hostile Zone. It's the holiday season, no matter what religion you are, what you believe. We don't want to see war anywhere. So I hope that they are able to bring major combat operations de-escalated pretty far. I know it's not going to be to a close, but at least they can bring it down. Because a lot of people have lost their lives here. A lot of people have lost their homes, their lives. There's a lot of bad things. I hate Hard News Mondays, right? So much stuff. We had some big storm on the East Coast. RW is not on the East Coast with us, so you missed out on the storm, RW. Did you know about the storms?
I read a little bit of something, but I don't know to what extent the storm really came to.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, right?
It was pretty last minute. I didn't think it was
everything was rumbling around. I mean, it wasn't the worst storm ever, but it was not an expected situation, right? I mean, I wasn't personally expecting to hear things crashing around and stuff, but a lot of people got flooded out, and I hope that everybody is okay, and we got through it. I mean, they said it was coming in almost at like tropical storm level without the warning for the tropical storm. So that kind of explains the pounding on all the buildings with the wind. So
that was that drastic cold.
Okay,
remember?
Yeah, right. We were trying to do some filming this weekend for some commercials and etc. for our various shows that we're doing, and it was ice cold out of nowhere. It went from 68 degrees in the early evening, RW, on Saturday, and it just dropped down to like low 50s, 40s, like 30-degree drop in like a couple hours. It was like shocking.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't.
Thank goodness I was wearing. Yeah. Well, you know what? I always wear short skirts and stuff, so I gotta say, thank goodness for my fleece leggings.
But she got a big rip in the pantyhose.
Oh yeah.
She was bragging about how great these pantyhose were, and that they had, what were they, furry or something?
They were fleece lined pantyhose, and it looks like the skin, but it's actually
looked like a skin, yeah. Awesome. But it got a big run in the front of it.
I'm so mad now. I have to order a new one.
And we were like, "Where's R-Dub?" Yeah, so
I was like, R-Dub would have helped me fix this.
Get the car or something. Get the truck. So anyway, all right. So moving forward with that. So that was that. The storms. Interesting. R-Dub. Check this out. There was a DWI that just occurred over the weekend.
Really?
In Delaware. Did you hear about this big DWI?
No, I did not.
You're like, no, this DWI is all day everywhere, right?
I haven't heard of anything.
Well,
what happened?
A 46-year-old man was driving under the influence and crashed his vehicle. Now you say, but that happens all the time, right?
Yeah. What?
But guess what he did?
What's so different this time?
He crashed into the Secret Service's SUV that transport the President of the United States.
Oh my Lord!
Could you imagine? Like, I mean, obviously he went to jail. Drinking and driving, and you crash your vehicle. Firstly, don't drink and drive, people. There's Uber or RW doesn't know about tipsy tow, but it does exist. Remember that RW?
I remember.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I could imagine like them being like high alert, like, oh my God, Darius,
They
or
did.
something
They went,
like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, good down.
They
You
did.
know?
They got them with guns
I
drawn
can
and
see
everything.
them
Right.
doing that.
Exactly. Just like that.
Wow.
I'll do that again.
Get down.
You do that so well. She's a professional there, Arnav. So yeah, he actually crashed his vehicle into the Secret Service vehicle. Nobody was hurt. 46-year-old male arrested, DWI.
Wow. Well, that's a bad day for him.
Bad day for him.
Especially
thank God
our
president wasn't hurt, and none of our Secret Service people were injured. And I guess it could have went worse. Could have went worse all around.
Wow.
Okay. We're also more information about the obesity in America.
Oh yeah.
Children now are way larger and classified as obese now more than they have been in the past.
Really?
And this goes up every year.
Well, everybody's been indoors and COVID.
Right.
I was assuming that, but now like, wow, that's sad to hear.
Yeah, I don't have statistics here. I do have statistics, but I didn't want to get into them into the show. But we're talking percentages here, and they broke it down by minorities, which ones had higher numbers and whatever. Which I didn't feel.
Health reasons.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking it was appropriate to get into minority discussions on it. Bottom line is our children are becoming obese. It's a health issue. We are limiting our future by killing off our children, by giving them early cancers, early diseases, diabetes, and everything else. We are destroying our future. People talking about global warming as an issue. Let's talk about hurting our children with obesity and foods that are unhealthy, not clean foods.
I know it's hard to be working parents, and you would think it's easy just to leave your kids alone in their room and watch them watching TV or being on the computer. But you know what? Nowadays you gotta manage your time and make sure that you spend time with your kids being active.
Right.
You know, like have a bike ride somewhere, or I don't know, like what is it like now? I might be old fashioned, but like you might go rollerblading with your kids or something. You know what I mean? Like do something that's also good for yourself too, and include that with your kids.
Right. No, absolutely.
And whatever meal you prepare, whatever, always include vegetables or anything, because like the food groups are so important nowadays. You can't just like say, oh, I'm hungry, and order out some pizza or make a quick mac and cheese sometimes.
Right. And you know what? Children don't know any better. They want the fun foods,
Yeah. But you know what?
They'll thank you later though when they're not obese.
You can always trick your kids too, because like nowadays, like, oh my God.
Are you discussing about tricking our children?
No,
FCC
not
violations. I'm kidding.
I'm talking about like healthy wise. Like nowadays,
I know,
like
I was kidding with you.
I substitute like Tostinos for cheesy tots. Like they're broccoli and cheese, and it looks like a tots thing. You know what I mean? But that's vegetables right there. Something like that.
I believe our ducks. We had them on set one day.
Yeah.
And then weren't they? Didn't you have those on set one day?
Yes, I did.
We did, and then we also had the White Castle one. So don't talk about healthy foods because there was White Castle back there.
Well, sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes.
But everything in moderation. Everything in moderation, though, right? I mean, everything in moderation.
Nowadays, like even if I make a pasta, whatever, I always add some peas in it.
Right.
You don't even know the difference.
Peas, corn, right.
Corn, something. Throw it in there.
Gabagool.
Gabagool.
How's it go?
Well, you can't eat that much.
Gabagool. Gabagool. Hey, is Dick there?
I'm right here.
How do you say it?
Gabagool.
Thank you. Gabagool. All right. We were actually, when we had our little Christmas get together, right? Our dubs, somebody heard us talking about gabagool, and they were like, "Oh my God, I haven't heard that forever." New Jersey people.
Yeah, had that with the salad.
And they knew me. Isn't that funny? They knew me. Not only did they know me, but they actually knew me even better than I thought they knew me.
I don't know. I'd be like, I want some gabagool with the salad.
Gabagool. All right.
Put some salad in there.
So how's Cheese World out there, bro?
You know, strangely enough,
You bring it-
in Wisconsin, it normally snows 13 months out of the year, and it's like below temperatures.
13 months out of a 12-month year?
Wow.
13 months out of a 12-month year?
That is
That's
a
a
lot
of snow.
That is dope.
That's a lot of
And
freaking
if there's
snow.
any of
All
my
right.
Wisconsin listeners out there, then they know what I'm talking about. But yeah,
Right. We have any shout outs? What's that restaurant bar you're going to be at later on? What's the name of it? Just Cause. What town? What town is that in? Just Cause, Ellsworth, Wisconsin. You want to tell anybody about it? Go out there, and if anybody goes out to this place, and R-Dub's going to give the information. What are they offering? Like the 10% off or 15%? What are they offering for people that come in and say that they
Yep,
referred by the show?
they're getting a 10% discount. And I tell you what, it's probably one of the best bar and grills that you'll eat at. They're very well known for their Reubens, so if you love a Reuben, very good.
Right. And let's make sure we get a link for that to drop in on the description for the shows, okay? And let's come up with a code. I need to put a code out too. Actually, we'll put when you show up, you say Eric sent me. How's that? Does that work?
I will talk to the boss and let you know.
Right. Yay. Well, you make sure you let them know that Eric sent you the Hostile Zone. We'll put out the links and stuff on the show.
Right.
If you're out there in Wisconsin, this is the place to go. We're going to be doing a live show out there, a couple live shows. And we're going to be introducing some new DJs for the radio station over the summer. We'll be getting information on that. We're actually going to be hiring DJs, et cetera, for one of the stations we're involved with. But we're putting all that out. But we're going to have our big breakaway party at this place, Just Cause.
Oh.
So we're going to keep you informed on Just Cause. But that's the deal right now. I suspect it'll get better. But right now it's 10%. When we have our party, there'll be a lot more giveaways. All right. So we went from that to obesity. Back into the political world.
So what did they say about like this more about that story about the obesity?
They were just talking about that the children are obviously are more obese than they had been, and the numbers keep getting worse,
I can add on
getting larger.
to that.
Yeah, go ahead, R-Dub, jump in anytime.
When I was younger, I had like different video game systems. I had a Game Boy. But me personally, I was never very much into the video game situation. I always enjoyed being outside, like I liked going out and building fires.
Me too.
Building little like huts and stuff out in the woods that I had in my backyard. I understand, there's a lot of city kids that, don't have those kinds of opportunities. But at the same point, there's no matter where you are, there's always different physical activities that you can do. And it's a shame that in today's world, people are so reliant on technology. And especially now, you hear stories of these iPad kids where parents, what they do is, their kids being too fussy, they just give them a tablet or they give them a phone. And so children for the future, they're raised on using technology and not being as active as, they should be. And,
And I think that actually interferes with their ability to be attentive and their concentration abilities, social skills, right? Not including just the obesity, but all of the things.
There's a lot of people on the internet or just kids in general where they only talk to people on the internet, and then once they actually get out into the real world and they have to talk people face to face, they don't have those same skills and they don't have that same comfort because there's you see people who are getting hated on social media, and all these people can say whatever they want whenever they want because they're hiding behind a screen. But
telephone. I called them telephone tough guys when I was a kid.
That's true.
And then now what you call keyboard tough guys,
we've been
same
talking
thing.
about Kanye West and how they're in the past, there's been a lot of allegations and bad things towards him, and people would, just hide behind the screens and, bash him. But I would love to see somebody walk up to Kanye West and say that stuff to him in person. They just won't do it. There's
Right. No, they won't. They won't.
Yeah.
And if they do, then then they're just looking for a rise. They want their moment of glory. They want their moment of their moment of being a celebrity for a moment or whatever. But at the end of
Right.
the day, you're right. And I think you
I
made
feel
an
bad
interesting
for the
point.
people that like those trolls that like talk negativity. I'm like, my
They
God.
don't have a life to begin with,
But like
right?
it's so sad that you have to like start up a conversation of being a bully in order to get that feed and to say, oh, is somebody gonna respond back?
Right.
It's
And
kind of like out of
yeah.
something else.
And
But
you're just looking
so
for
sad.
trouble. You're just looking for trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, it's
Yeah.
garbage, and everybody knows it's garbage. But you know what? People still feed into it, though.
I know. It's like it's like watching a drama series.
It
You know
really
what I
is.
mean?
It
Like
really
people
is.
will want to read the comments and be like, "Whoa, what's going
I
on
think
here?" You know?
people got into
It's so
reality
sad.
TV so much that now everything is a reality TV.
And what's
Uh,
sad is that reality TV really isn't reality. There's still like pre-script everything.
right,
It-
right, exactly, right. Yeah, I see the invites for
they
to be on shows.
exaggerate things to make it seem like a
Right, they make a
situation.
situation out of a non-situation because they
Hmm.
need to make it happen.
Oh
But
yeah, I have a couple of friends that I'm not gonna name because but
yeah,
I could
don't
say
name
they're
drop on the
my
show.
Jersey friends from the shows, if you know what I mean. And anyways, like they always tell me like, oh, they always exaggerate. I'm not really like this.
Right.
But I'm like, and I know I look at the
Well, they're
show and I'm
looking to
like,
make their
my God, she's never like that. I'm like,
right.
what the, it's
Well, they got
acting.
it. They ask, yeah, it's improvisation. I mean, it's
Exactly. So I'm like,
reality TV, but it's improv.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I want to get to my last hard news point, and then you were off on this reality thing. So I kind of, you had some reality stuff in the entertainment stuff we can kind of steer into. But on a political realm, we know that Florida has been a hot-bedded discussion with Republican politics recently, with
Mhm.
Governor DeSantis and pushing his bid for the Republican nomination for president. And all the stuff that's going on down there. And there had been the Republican chairman, the GOP chairman, has been asked to step down, and he's been
Really?
basically suspended from his post as chairman of the Republican Party for Florida because he's under investigation for sexual assault or I think it's sexual assault or not harassment because
Oh
there's a big difference between the
boy.
two. I'm not really sure of what the details of it are, but his wife and his wife also is involved in politics. She also um,
Mm.
holds a couple different political offices, and I want to say she is the founder of something. What was the name of it? R Dub. I wrote down on the notes. The something for liberty. Something. Let me see if I could pull it up here because I'm saying it and I want to make sure I got it correct. There was a story here.
Yeah,
Let me find it. Give
I'm
me
not
a second
100%
here.
sure if I remember exactly what you're
Uh,
talking about.
yeah, she was with some kind of well, I know what I know what she did. I don't know the specific name of the program, but bottom line is this guy's wife is the co-founder of an organization and that was in Florida.
And how does she feel about
Well,
this
hold on, let me give
whole?
you the story. So she is the founder of this program in Florida that had to do with schools and about
Mhm.
Moms for Liberty. That's the
Moms for
name of it. See
Liberty?
that?
Oh,
It
Moms
came
for
to my head. I remembered it.
Liberty.
Moms
Mm.
for Liberty, and this organization was big, and I don't have all of the details in front of me because I wasn't going to get off into that area too much. But she, this organization was big about what can happen in schools, like where people are talking about the gender affirming what a gender affirming studies in school, where if your son or daughter comes in and decides that they're a boy, but they're really a girl, and then the school doesn't tell the parents about it,
Oh, I'm so
right?
Yeah,
Whatever
I
that is.
remember
You know what I'm
briefly
talking about,
talking about
R-Dub?
that.
Yeah, so this program is involved in like what is appropriate to discuss with children in the school setting. And interestingly enough, and I think this will all pan out moving forward, but the case on him or what they're talking about and involves her is very interesting that they were involved potentially in a three-way relationship, not a relationship. They had a sexual encounter with another young lady at one point, and somebody is talking about it. And I think the other person, a female, might actually be looking for their claim to fame. And especially since she, the woman, the wife of of the Republican chairman,
Mhm.
That they had engaged with this other woman in an extra, I wouldn't say extramarital experience because it was part of the marriage experience. Whatever it was that they did, they were consenting adults in their bedroom alone, and now they're making it a story. I don't know all the details to the sexual assault part of it because I don't understand how that's an assault if she voluntarily went to their bedroom with them. I don't know. But I think I read a little bit that they might have had a planned encounter with all three of them after they had already had it before. But they had another encounter scheduled and the wife had to cancel due to some instance with work or whatever. I don't know. But the
Wow.
husband and the woman can continue to meet anyway. And I think the wife was okay with that. But then now there's a story that he assaulted the woman. I don't know all the details. I
Wow.
suspect Cinotti's opinion on this is very clear. What they did, the husband and the wife together, was obviously together, so it was part of their marriage. It was their inner relationship that they were having with somebody else, but that other person was not in the marriage. They were there for fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? How I don't know how to put it on the air without getting a
Oh,
sissy violation. They were having a
let me,
three-way.
to spice things up,
They
I
were
guess.
spicing it up,
Okay.
right? They were spicing it up with another female. They were not
Ah.
in a marriage with multiple wives and multiple whatever. There wasn't that situation. It was a sexual encounter experience.
Oh, wow.
So this
Okay.
has nothing to do with the school system and what with this program, Moms for Liberty was talking about in the schools about gender affirming and what children can be talked about. This is definitely not the same thing. I don't think
That
that one thing, what you
I
did in your
agree. It's like
bedroom
that's
has anything,
separate.
right?
Like,
I've
I
always
mean,
said on
yeah,
all my
okay.
shows,
Yeah.
I don't care what you do in your bedroom.
Mhm.
The government shouldn't be in your bedroom. I don't want to be in your bedroom unless you invited me. In all seriousness, not as a joke, but I mean, obviously, if I'm there for a reason, but otherwise, nobody should be in your bedroom,
Yeah.
right? And that has nothing to do with your work life. Now, one can say that she's a hypocrite, but because she's saying one thing and acting another way, like some people say about some people that act one way publicly, but then they are really, doing other things on the side. But here's the story on this. What Moms for Liberty is talking about is what children are getting surrounded by and talked about in the school setting by people that are not parental figures. They are
Gotcha.
educators. Now, in the law world, there's a thing called local parentis. That's where the parental authority is bestowed upon a teacher or whoever is with your child at the time,
Mhm.
meaning local parentis, the local parents. Everything in law is Latin, right? So that means local parents, local
Okay.
parentis in Latin. And that means basically, while my son is with the school, you are acting in good faith as a parent supervising them. So you're given such authority to do certain things. That's why teachers don't need permission. If you need medical attention or something like that, they'll call the
Medical
parent after, but they
attention,
don't need to call first.
or if there was like a fight, they have permission to put them
Break it
aside to
up.
break it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have
Uh,
certain things that they
yeah.
can do. But
They're responsible for your children to stay safe in a
exactly
school.
the
Yeah.
safety of the
There's
children and making
certain
sure
yeah.
their needs are met with. But I don't think
And educating, most
Educate,
important.
right? Of course, of course.
Sorry.
But safety of children is first and
Yeah.
paramount, first and foremost. But you know what? What they did in their bedroom has nothing to do with what they're saying it should be happening in school. It's not like they're saying their child was watching this.
Right.
So this is
They're not
something
putting in.
interesting to watch. What say you, R-Dub?
You know, yeah.
I sandbag you there. It's not a tough one. What's your honest opinion on it? We call on you because of the generational difference. You're a little younger, so the world is different for you.
Trying to think of where my standpoint is compared to where my generation would be as well.
I know you're a little, you're a
I've
little
been
bit more
told a lot
mature
that I
than
have
most
an old
of
soul,
your cohorts. Word of the day, old soul, right? You're mature. I wouldn't say old soul. You're more mature. You have your stuff organized better. But I mean, you hang out with people. You know that it's different world. It's a different world. Obviously, with the top of the hour, I talked about the Vatican approving blessings for same-sex couples. So we are progressively moving in a different direction. So I would find that this would be an interesting topic.
I have an opinion. I say, if it was between the three of them or whatever they were doing, it's kind of, and the third person agrees to meet up or whatever, and I think that third person kind of like betrayed the trust.
Right.
If it's it to a certain extent, like, I don't know. I think it's messed up that the third person would bring that out.
Right. But you know what? Here's the thing.
Unless they want money.
Well, isn't that always the end all for everything?
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't know why the police are investigating an assault. I mean, I don't even know when this happened.
You can't trust anybody nowadays. So, like, if you ever do anything, just be ready that it might be going out.
Well, I think if you
know what I mean,
because things like this, you need to be
there's certain people
smart.
You gotta be. I don't know. It's a very touchy subject. Like, whatever it is, like nowadays, I'm not surprised about this news because nowadays people could surprise you. Whatever they do in their bedroom is their business. But when it has to be like the third person that brings that out from the bedroom, I think that's disrespectful.
Right.
To be personal, that's not right for that person to do that.
No, I don't think it's all right at all.
That ruins people's lives.
She's saying, and I don't know all the details, and I can follow up on it if it's a topic. The hostile zone at bbstalkradio.com, Eric at ericandrewcinotti.com. If this is something you want us to talk about further, we can. And get more details. But I think that what is being said here is not so much the three-way sexual encounters. And I add an S to it. I don't know how many there were or weren't, but
we don't know.
But this particular situation, if I know, and I don't have all the details, but I think that there was supposed to be a sexual encounter, and the wife was unable to make the encounter happen the day in question. And the husband,
just because it wasn't followed up, now the person, the person's pissed.
Well, the husband went. It's okay. That's not an FCC violation.
The person is very upset about the plans or something.
No, well,
what's the intention for ruining the?
He went and hung out with the woman anyway, or allegedly hung out with the woman, or showed up at her house. I don't really know, but that's I think where the story is at this point. I don't really know, but. Yeah. There hasn't been any discussion of what their sexual encounter as a threesome were.
It is shocking about
a sexual
assault
being
out there. That definitely.
It's a sexual assault now, and I think that the whole three-way thing is included because the woman had engaged in three-way experiences with them, and then I guess he went, and I don't really know if this is accurate.
Right. Well, it depends on their marriage of what they talk about.
Right.
So
I don't think the wife was too upset about it. Right.
If it's not, then I don't know. I it's a shocking thing. Like, I don't know. It's between them. Every marriage is different.
What you want to do
judge.
in your right.
I can't judge.
Right. And if the child is not there, and the parents are not engaging in reckless, dangerous behavior.
As long as you're responsible and surroundings or whatever.
Reckless,
and stuff,
dangerous behavior. They're not having orgies and sex parties in their house with the child there. I don't think that. I think this is probably a very common situation all across the board in a lot of ways, and I think it's just coming out because of who she is and who he is, and that's my take.
I think I get the hint that she just wants money to get that hush hush.
Well,
she
don't forget, she also
probably
people.
was not happy with the results, so that's why she wants to make money out of that rumor because people want to interview her because of who they are. You're right. You're right about that.
You know, and their connection to Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis. You know,
especially close to election season coming up. You know, there could be a lot of stuff.
The purity of the first lady and you know, and who they supposed to all these people are.
That's one thing. Like I think it's so ridiculous. Every time there's always close to you know, voting season or whatever, you know, there's always has to be that one person that always comes out saying, "Oh, something about sexual stuff," just to ruin a person's reputation. It's getting old, to be honest.
I think that she triggered people because of this school thing and fighting back against the gender stuff. So
I don't think that has to do with
I think it does. I think it does because I think that they make a point every time this comes into a story.
Wow.
They always mention that she's Moms for Liberty, the co-founder of Moms for Liberty.
So now,
and
because
they mention
that they're trying to ruin what good cause she was doing in order for
and because
that's not fair.
Because she with the I guess, and I don't know all the details. I have not read the charter and what the mission and vision statement is for Moms for Liberty. I know a little bit about it. I don't really know much about it, but I do know that I guess because of the sexual nature of the things that Moms for Liberty is against in the school setting, then they turn around and say, well, I guess they're saying in a way you're a hypocrite because of the things you do in your bedroom. But I don't think one and the same are exclusive. What you do to spice up your marriage in your bedroom in a safe environment is not what your political point is for a community at large and for children. We're talking about children in the school system, talking about children in their educational environment. And I think that is the question at hand. What is appropriate for a child in an education environment? What is appropriate for your sons and children, your sons and daughters across the board to be learning from a teacher, an educator in their public school system? What is acceptable? And that is the real statement. And they blur the lines and they blur the conversation with all this other fancy footwork. Republican chairman suspended for sexual assault. Moms for Liberty co-founder and husband involved in sex thing. You're muddying the water. You're blurring the conversation. The conversation is what is acceptable for an educator to discuss with my child in the school. These things are not related. They are not the same. They are separate. You got to compartmentalize your work life, your bedroom life. Nobody takes their bedroom life into their office. So why would you be taking? Why would this be acceptable? Why would that be? If she worked for Walmart and she was, or any other place,
it wouldn't be a big deal.
It would not be a conversation, right? Yeah. Would not be a conversation. Yes, not to downplay sexual assault, if indeed he did it, and I don't know, it's alleged, but it has really nothing to do with the wife, and it has nothing to do with her standpoint.
That's not fair. That's not fair to the wife, to be honest.
So I just think that it muddies the water, and I think a lot of people will be angered by this because they're like, well, what are we trying to do? We're trying to take back a topic. We're trying to take back what the real goal here is. And I don't know. And this is not that kind of show. I'm not pushing any agenda here. I'm just saying, quit muddying the water. What somebody's one job and their home life are separate things.
Yeah.
I agree. What say you are, Dub? Don't you agree? Your work life and your personal life and your bedroom life are separate. Your bedroom life is not the same as your work life. It's not the same totally as your friend's life. Your life in with your friends, right?
Yeah.
And I think that regardless of what she did or what he allegedly did or she allegedly did, they have nothing to do with what they do for work. And everybody is entitled to be innocent until proven guilty. And when they
Right,
are
which is
indeed
something, yeah.
innocent, the internet never cleans itself up.
No, it would be there.
Google doesn't
Yeah.
fix itself. And you know what? News media doesn't go back and rewrite the story when the person's not guilty. They don't change the headline
So
unless
true.
you force them to.
Yeah.
Unless if you get an attorney and you fight them, they're not changing the story. They're not changing the article. And if you're
Because they care
not
about the
guilty, it's not a
clicks on the
shock.
story,
It's
and
not a
that's it.
shock story.
Mhm.
So this story is a great story right now because he's the chairman of the Republican Party for Florida. Right, Florida is a key state in the presidential election,
Mhm.
and there also has to be a contender running for against President Trump for the primary. There's a lot going on there, and it's a swing state in general to win elections. We know because I mean, if you go back to the famous Supreme Court Bush v. Gore or Gore v. Bush, whatever it was, when the Gore and Bush their case went to the Supreme Court over Florida, Miami-Dade County. Over the hanging Chad in the election over who was going to make president. So Florida is a contentious state in general for the election. So I think because it was an issue with children, an issue as if against transgendering or gender affirming stuff in the classroom and what she was doing, it's just they just are a never ending battle with each other. Right. So I think it serves people if they don't have a good argument to attack.
You know, like with the education on your kids, how instead of like, I mean, with the sexuality and stuff, I think that should be like for high schoolers
Right.
when they're at that age, whatever. But when you're young, they don't know even what you're talking about
Right.
around
I
that time
remember
because
my
they're not,
first.
their minds aren't developed like that yet.
I remember when
How
we had
about educating your kids
like help.
how to manage your finance,
How about how to do a
money, and
checking
like how
account,
to
a
do a
checkbook?
checkbook?
Right.
You know, half of the time those people that they don't know how to even do how to know what percentages
They don't
or
even know
whatever
like
it
how
is. You know
taxes
what I mean?
works.
No, they don't. And you know what? A lot of people are getting in trouble because of the taxes and stuff
Right.
and nowadays. But you know what? In order to make your kids more successful, why don't you teach them how to manage?
Why don't they teach them
that?
dieting since child obesity's gone up?
Yeah, how to improve that instead of
Nutrition.
really having to do with that situation that shouldn't even really be important.
I mean, I don't think they should discriminate in school against anybody.
Right.
I don't think, though, it's appropriate to teach certain things unless if the parents want to teach that.
Mhm.
That's not in
Right,
the
right.
curriculum for school. You
And
had
I
math,
understand about the
English,
kids.
and writing, reading.
I know they're trying to avoid like bullying and stuff
Right,
like
and I'm
that, you
not,
know
and
what I
I
mean?
think that
And I
yes,
think that the bullying thing should stay. You know, like to teach your kids not to belittle anybody or anything like that, you
but
know,
that's a
that's because
parent's
they're
job is to
different.
do that.
Yeah. But nowadays, you know, like both parents work, so it's kind of hard to do that. But in the educational system, I mean, you guys gotta. I understand you guys are trying to
Where are we on
not make
time,
fun of
R-Dub?
the different people,
Yeah,
but
got
at
about
least
5 minutes
educate
before we
how to
start closing
not
out.
discriminate.
R-Dub, did you get
That's
the
all.
time? We got a time check? Okay, good. I didn't want to cut you off. Good.
Oh no, yeah, but like stuff like that. But other than like the sexual stuff and education, that's separate. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like they were having a video out or anything that oh my god, you know what I mean? Like, come on,
Right. Posting videos of themselves.
yeah, like I don't think it should have been to that extent. And that's
Well,
not fair.
we'll
I
see
think
where
that's
this
not fair to
where
the
this
reputation
goes.
of the wife
Is
with
there
her
going to be
business.
a child welfare investigation now? Because they tend to do that. They weaponize the
Yeah,
child
it's so
system.
sad. Yeah.
They weaponize the child system. You know, they weaponize systems across the board.
Wow,
But
this was a serious thing, right?
so, all right. So you got some entertainment stuff in the 5 minutes here. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, you know, I was scrolling down and I just saw that uh one of my favorite actors, Brad Pitt, just turned 60.
Is he really 60? Wow.
He looks amazing of being 60. Like he still looks like he's still in his 40s.
Right. You know, I think it's good. Exercise is
He's
key.
like wine.
Well, they say men age well. Men
So
age
fair.
well,
He
or
looks great.
men get distinguished, right? I don't know. I think that you need to be health conscious a little bit. He has to be going to the gym. You're not, I don't think you should be getting
We gotta
cosmetic
do the work.
surgery across the way. I
Yeah.
think getting
Yeah.
distinguished is part of life. But going to the gym is key. And I think, he's not faking he's
Nutrition.
not faking his body.
I'm sure like
But he's got
water is
money.
doing good for him.
He's got, what's that?
I think a lot of water is doing good for him.
Right, but you know what? I mean, but he probably
And genetics.
Genetics
Mhm.
plays key
Yes.
fact in this. But I think having the money to have somebody cook for you good meals
Mhm.
and to be having somebody watch out and having trainers work with you, as long as they're not doing crazy cosmetic stuff to your face and your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, there's a lot of stars that regret of doing some stuff to them, like what was it? The Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne, like she regrets of getting stuff done
really.
to herself, like since she's getting older, and I came across that, but with Brad Pitt, my God, oh
Right.
my, he's such a hottie, and for 60, I, he's really cute.
Wasn't he was
He's still like
he
hasn't
dated
changed.
Jennifer Aniston too, didn't he?
Jennifer Aniston, yes, and he
And
was
then
married to Angelina
Angelina
Jolie,
Jolie.
but they're divorcing.
Right. But I
Which
mean,
is sad, but
he was. I mean,
but
he
I
was
think
dating.
he's seeing. I don't know the further details, but I think he's seeing a younger girl half his age.
You think so? I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, good for him.
she might be my age. I don't know.
Right. She could be like Bianca Censori, right?
Right.
Any updates on her?
Yep,
Or,
I'm
always got to bring up Kanye's gonna hate us for talking about his woman every day. RW there?
I swear, every time you say Bianca, I'm like always alert. You know, like
Bianca
hello, are you
Censori.
talking about me or Bianca Sea?
Right?
Which
She's a
one?
Bianca Sea as well, but she's Bianca Censori. You're Bianca Sea, like the ocean. I do that so well if you're watching.
I know.
But,
That's why I love it. I love my name.
Anything else on the entertainment spin?
That's all for today.
Well, no, there was some Demi Lovato, right? She got engaged,
Oh, yes.
right?
Demi Lovato did get engaged, and her ring, it's huge.
Is it?
She's got
Is she dating a star or
ring.
a regular everyday Joe?
It's slightly a little
No, I'm talking about the guy.
The guy?
Is he in the entertainment, or did I sandbag and you don't know?
Oh, you sandbagged
I
me.
sandbagged her. She got on the air again and didn't know. Where are we almost ready for Dirty Mike?
I saw
or
the
no?
way they look. They mesh well. Like how you see another person and you see like if they're opposite or not, but like they kind of fit each other.
Good for her.
You know what I mean?
Good for her. Good for him. I wish them well.
No,
I
think
and
the show
we
went
are
really
going to
well
have to
today,
move into
and
Dirty
I
Mike.
hope all of our
We
listeners
got
are
in such
enjoying
good conversation today. R-Dub, anything to add?
I just want to say thank you to all the people that continuously listen.
What about Dick?
I love
Anything
you
to
all
add,
so
Dick?
much.
Hey, Dick, you got anything to add?
I hope so. I have some fabulous outfits for.
Nice. Are you going to be joining us in Vegas for the awards dinner in the spring, Dick? Make the list of sponsors so we can reach out before we wear any name brand on the red carpet.
I know. Dick, we're going to go shopping together, right? You're going to have to help me pick out a cute outfit.
Nice. All right. We will be, Dick's coming with us. We're doing some filming in New York in the winter and about next month. So, okay. So we are ready for the ceremonial Dirty Mike. I need to unplug out so Miss Bianca Sea can Dirty Mike us up.
Okay.
So turn your Dirty Mic on, unplug your mic.
Unplug my mic.
All right. And I am unplugging and I'll be back to say goodnight.
And this is on. Is it on? It's good. Dirty Mike is appearing.
Miss Bianca, take us out with honor, pride, and patriotism.
Gladly. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we won were so gallantly streaming, and the kingdom, the bombs bursting through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the and the home of the brave.
What a wonderful job, as usual. On air talent, Miss Bianca Sea. Thank you very much, Miss Bianca. Everybody's waiting for the release of the Cinotti Hears You song, so let's hear a verse.
Use your voice, Cinotti hears you. Use your voice, let it be heard. Use your voice, Cinotti hears you. Use your voice. Use your voice, Cinotti heard you. Use your voice, let it be heard. Use your voice, Cinotti heard you. Use your voice.
That's right, KKTC 99.9, True Country, True America, True Cinotti, baby. I heard you. I'm going to hear you again tomorrow. But right now, Cinotti heard you.